So imagine you're scrolling your feed, right? And you see a major rival just filed for bankruptcy. It's pretty natural to feel like a tiny smirk, a little bit, well, more market share for us.
Yeah, you're mentally popping the champagne.
Exactly. But imagine if right at that moment you get a notification that a massive conglomerate is initiating a hostile takeover of your company. Like they're planning to bulldoze your headquarters to build a parking lot.
That is a brutal reversal.
Yeah.
And honestly, that sudden devastating shift is exactly what we're exploring in today's deep dive.
Right. We're looking at a set of 7-step quiet time notes. And just to clarify for everyone up front, quiet time, or QT, is this structured meditative practice where you read ancient scripture and will actually apply it to your daily life. We are focusing on the book of Ezekiel today.
Yeah, and our mission today is to uncover how this specific ancient prophecy about a ruined coastal city challenges our modern concepts of time, our own pride, and, how we turn theoretical knowledge into actual practice.
So the historical scenario here centers on Ezekiel chapter 26. We have Tyre. It's this proud, wealthy city, and they're watching their neighbor, Jerusalem, completely collapse.
And Tyre's reaction is definitely not sympathy. I mean, they are thrilled.
Oh, yeah. The text literally quotes them saying, like, aha, I shall be replenished now that she is laid waste.
They see a tragedy and just immediately calculate their profit.
Right.
But the text tells us God totally opposes this kind of self-centered gloating.
Right. And the response is absolute devastation. The prophecy declares that King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon is going to bring a massive army to just destroy Tyre entirely.
And the sources emphasize that this punishment is so severe, God declared Tyre would be scraped down to a bare rock.
A bare rock, like just completely wiped off the map.
Completely. It would never be rebuilt. It would only be useful as like a flat surface for fishermen to spread their nets. It's the total erasure of an arrogant city.
Wow. But I have to admit, my mind immediately goes to a place of skepticism because Ezekiel's sitting in exile in Babylon, right?
Yeah, roughly 1,000 kilometers away from Tyre.
Right. And he obviously doesn't have a telegraph, let alone real-time news alerts. So natural skepticism says this is just retroactive editing. Like somebody went back after Nebuchadnezzar attacked and tweaked the text to make Ezekiel look like this perfect prophet.
Sure. Critics argue that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the QT reflection notes tackle that exact skepticism head on. They argue that claiming the text was edited later, well, it forces the creator into the confines of human linear time.
Wait, how so?
It assumes God experiences history the exact same way we do, one event after another.
But if the event hasn't happened yet in human history, writing it down with that much detail, that breaks the basic laws of cause and effect.
Well, think of it like watching a parade. You and I are standing on the sidewalk. We only see the flute directly in front of us, the one that just passed, and maybe the nose of the next one coming down the street.
Right, that's linear time.
Exactly. But the text asks you to accept a creator who is in a helicopter high above the city, seeing the beginning, middle, and end of the parade all at once.
Oh, I like that analogy. So Ezekiel was basically just communicating what the helicopter view already saw.
Right. According to the notes, he was simply proclaiming the word in faith before Nebuchadnezzar even began his siege.
Okay, so we have an ancient city destroyed for its hubris and this wild perspective that sticks completely outside of linear time. But how is a ruined ancient city relevant to you, the listener, today?
Well, the source answers this by redefining what it means to actually learn something. The notes argue that if you just read this historical account without applying it to your own life, you're reducing the text to lifeless knowledge.
Lifeless knowledge, so just trivia, basically.
Pretty much. True quiet time, they say, is only completed through obedience and action. Reading is just the prerequisite.
So the judgment on Tyre is meant to be a mirror for our own behavior.
Exactly. The notes pose some really uncomfortable self-reflection questions. They ask if you're trusting your own plans and financial security more than you trust God.
Oh, wow. And going back to that corporate analogy from earlier, do you secretly feel pleased when someone else fails because, it elevates your own status?
Right. Or has success made you spiritually careless? These questions demand you move beyond just intellectually agreeing with a history lesson and actually start examining your daily habits.
It forces a huge shift, going from merely acquiring information to allowing that information to change how you operate.
Yeah, exactly. The ultimate takeaway from the sources is that true understanding requires action, especially when it comes to entrusting your future to a God who is already at work beyond what you can see.
So we've journeyed from Tyre's ancient arrogance to our modern need for self-examination. And it leaves you with this to ponder. If a mighty city's legacy was permanently erased because it built its foundation on the misfortune of others, what modern empires or even personal digital empires are we building today that are just one shift away from becoming a bare rock?